Thank you, Cheezo5, for the 174 viewer. Appreciate it. We got Samurai Man, Pog Champion in the chat.
Hey,
What
Samuel.
up, Samurai
How's it going?
Man? For those of you that are coming in, actually, I'll wait a little bit to mention it. Some social media stuff going out. Get on the Twitter, do some reposting. There's about to be some crazy stuff going on. So I've heard that RNG and SMS is... Oh, and we're off.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, RNG and SMS is significantly worse than coins going in the wrong direction in SM64.
Yeah,
which
I've heard.
to my knowledge is like mostly the extent of it in SM64. I'm sure there's some other stuff that I don't know about, but
yeah, some enemy stuff, but for the most
Yeah.
part, you know, you're not gonna lose. Like, bad RNG will never be the source of your dead run. It'll be you being a garbage can, right?
yeah, there's like 3 or 4 big RNG moments in Sunshine. The first one is Bianco 5. Petey, who's the boss, he can go. There's all these different patterns he can take, and the fastest one is about a minute faster than the slowest one. Although on average, you'll be like maybe 20 seconds off of optimal. And then King Boo, it's random. It's a literal slot machine, and if he gives you the wrong cycle, then you lose 8 seconds. And then Manta, of course, there's just these mantas going everywhere that you have to kill all of them, but they choose random directions to move, so that can be pretty unfortunate as well. Although JJ Plays Games has the world best for the Manta segment. He's got a 225, I think, which is pretty ridiculous. Like a good Manta is like 245. So. And then, yeah, that's about it.
I'd say worth noting that both of these players are also pretty strong competitors in Mario 64. Shoutouts to Cheese for the sub, Bub, and Strawwhat Daxter for the sub.
Yeah, Weegee has 16-star record, doesn't he?
He does, and he's also really good at 70. Really, really nice movement. And JJ as well. Seems as though he's getting into Mario 64. Saw him at SGDQ, did some live races. He's a young guy. JJ, I think, is what, 14?
I think he's 15, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know most people's ages. He at least has a deep voice, so he is kind of an adult. Oh, and also early cycle, I should say. That's another RNG element that'll come in later. But yeah, I have done some 64. Most of my 64 experience has been part of the 602 though. So yeah. I got like a 4-hour 120 run, and that was all I needed.
Yeah, it can be a bit daunting. Mario 64 is sometimes be unforgiving.
Yeah. Yeah, the 100 coin always killed me in SSL. I would always die at like 95 coins. But all right, we're getting into more gameplay here.
Yes, here we are.
Different strats here coming out. So Weegee's on the left. He did a slightly faster strat, but it's only like 0.3 faster. The difference between either just turning and immediately spraying from farther away, which is a little harder, obviously, because it's farther, or doing a side flip dive and then spraying so you're a little closer.
I like that little, they're spraying and then they do a big backflip to be, I guess, right under the star, perfectly positioned.
Yeah.
Or sorry, shine. My
shine,
bad.
yeah.
I'm used to stars, but we got the shines.
Yeah, just at least it's not SMO. Then it's moons. I wouldn't be getting that one right either. So
you've got a moon. Hey, ooh. So Strongman Len, how do you feel about this intro? SMS, certainly a pretty good speed game, pretty popular, but man.
Yes,
what is it, 8 minutes until you're like going?
It's about 7. Yeah, this has been a source of debate recently. I'm on the side to start from file select just because it skips gameplay. I understand I feel like one of the main arguments, now I'm not for race files, so I can't entirely speak for them, but I feel like one of the main arguments is you essentially get the same time every time in the little gameplay that you would skip from starting on race file, which starts after these cutscenes.
Yeah.
And it helps grow the community more if there's not like the barrier to entry of having to do this 7-minute cutscene at the beginning. So there was a vote, and it came about it was like 56% was 4 file select still. So that's where it stands currently.
So is that enough for them to swing it, or do they want it? Do they want it to be like 60-40? Do you know what?
I don't
plans
actually
are?
know. Well, so it's file select currently, which is where you watch the cutscenes, and that's just for right now. That's just it's staying that way, just because. I mean, obviously they won the vote, but also, I think a lot of the mods maybe prefer it too. I don't know, but it would be a hassle to move it over the race file. So I think unless they have a large percentage, or maybe even just a winning vote of race file, they wouldn't move it over. So.
Seems like a tough thing, but definitely important to do as a community. You don't want people to feel alienated.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gets their opinion heard, and then you have a healthy discussion.
Yeah, well, sometimes healthy, sometimes not.
Maybe I'm fantasizing it. Maybe it's a little more rough than I imagine.
There are good people and bad people on both sides, I think. But yeah. All right, coming. This is. I think we're on the last. No, never mind. I thought we were almost. At 6:25 is when these cutscenes. The first input you have to do, in this cutscene is at 6:25.
So once again, for people coming in, we got SMS any percent race between the two legends. This is a global speed fundraiser, 2-day long marathon. Second day here. We're halfway through, 3 hours left or so. And we're chugging right along, raising money to get the prize pools nice and big for our faithful players in the upcoming events, such as the Ultimate 120-star Relay and a Mario 64 Bingo tournament coming out. Shout-outs to everybody involved. Shout-outs to Strongman Lynn for coming and doing some co-commentary on this SMS race. I'm excited to hear more things about this version of Mario that has a
oh yeah, actually, I'll talk about that real quick. The version also. So they're both playing on Japanese version.
Okay.
So there's 3 main versions. There is NTSCU, which is the American, and that's slowest by about 15 seconds, just because. Well, it's just slowest. And then Japanese version, Japanese 1.0, which is for the most part the only Japanese version you're ever going to find, is loading Delfino Plaza is about 1/3 of a second faster. And the text is slightly faster, so it's about 15 seconds faster than the American version. And then the PAL version, which a few people run on, that's actually what I run on. The text is the fastest on the Italian version, and Serena 6, which comes up near the end of the run, is significantly easier on the US and the PAL version. So you can do it about, on average, maybe 5 or 6 seconds quicker on PAL. So than on JP.
So, SMS, have you done some SM64 gameplay? How do you feel it differs, if you have?
To be honest, the biggest thing that struck me playing SM64 versus SMS was the side flip mechanics. In SMS, you can kind of just turn the stick and immediately press A, and you'll get a side flip. But in SM64, I really felt like I had to wait for Mario to really turn around before I could press A. Also, the wall kicking, I didn't understand as much. I would bonk on it sometimes or not get a wall kick. But in SMS, if you touch the wall, you'll just keep sliding until you press A. But on SM64, you just got to hit it right when you hit the wall. So no one gets early M there, unfortunate, but just saves about 0.1. You can spray that M on the wall during the cutscene, so you can immediately dive instead of having to spray it after the cutscene ends. But neither of them got it. It's pretty inconsistent, so not super surprising.
So going to be squirting a path down here, it seems like that's the fastest method to travel. I see in SMS you do that a lot. You just slide on your belly with the water.
Yeah, the water slide is actually faster even than the turbo nozzle at max speed. The turbo, I think you may get up to speed faster, but at max speed it is slightly slower than the water slide. And the reason they spray right before they do the water slide is Flood, that's the water jetpack, he kind of has an active state and an inactive state, and you start the level in an inactive state, and if you press R when you're in an inactive state, he actually won't spray water for a second. He'll just squirt nothing or something. So they squirt water just so that when they switch to hover, he will squirt water on the ground and they can get a hover slide, as opposed to sometimes squirting the water, sometimes not, and they just get a dry slide. They immediately just do the hover nozzle slide.
Has to fire a blank first, get it out of the system.
Pretty much, yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and so this is the first.
This piranha.
Yeah, this is Petey. This is the first boss. He appears another time later. I mentioned earlier there was RNG with him. This time, though, if you just stand to his side, he will face towards you, and then you can spray in his mouth, which allows you to ground pound on his stomach and kill him. In true Nintendo fashion, it is a 3-hit boss.
Yeah, that does seem to be a recurring theme.
Yeah, I don't know if there are any non-3... I guess Bowser at the end is 5 hits. But most of the bosses are 3 hits. Well, actually, never mind. Now that I think there's a lot of bosses that aren't 3 hits.
Oh, man, Len,
ignore that.
Some garbage. Everyone.
Ignore that. That's not a true fact.
But wow, neck and neck so far, not even a second apart.
Yeah.
Weegee and JJ both out here playing to win, eyes on the prize.
Yeah, I think Weegee had a better spider, it looked like, so he was able to get to Petey faster. But he messed up the spam spray for one of the cycles, so we lost a little bit of time there.
I've heard some talk about the spam spray. You mean like when it's just a huge burst of water out?
Yes. So there's an intended game mechanic, which is when you press R and then press A, you get a backflip and it sprays that shotgun spray.
Yeah.
And it's kind of debatable whether it's intended or not. If you do this in the air, you don't backflip, you just do the water spray. So you can use that to like spray water really quickly. That's used in a ton of levels, like if you're trying to fill up Petey's mouth, or if you're trying to clear a large area of goop.
Or like cleaning people, you can do it instantly with that if you aim it right, it seems.
Yeah, in Pianta 6, you have to clean 10 Piantas and you use spam sprays for that. And we have a different strat here from Weegee on the left. It's slightly faster, it's a little bit riskier, so most people don't do it, but it saves about 0.3 seconds or something. It's just how you start the level. What JJ did is he started with a triple jump, so there's no dives for the first 2 jumps. Then what Weegee did is he immediately started with the jump dive, and then you basically just get 1 extra dive in, so that's why it saves a little bit of time.
I like how you can just keep bouncing on your belly.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. Like, the mechanics of this game are really fun. And the water mechanic with it all just makes you smile. It's beautiful. Yeah. It's fluid movement. No pun intended.
Haha, I get it. Yeah. Also, so coming up here, they're going to do travel skip. It's called travel skip because it quote-unquote skips travel. But you actually just do the travel before the cutscene starts here. So they're basically just going to enter into Bianca right as the cutscene starts. So when the cutscene ends, instead of putting them right in front of the dead piranha plant, it'll put them in Bianco. So they both should get it. Jump over green toad there. There we go.
Is the timing pretty strict for that, or what's the
you have maybe there's actually a little bit of extra time because there's a pretty hard strat where you can grab a blue coin while it's happening, but you have maybe an extra second or 2 to work with there. But if you bonk, then you can't get it. So it is somewhat difficult.
And again, sliding on their belly. Too easy, man. You just lubricate it and you go.
Yeah, if you understand momentum in this game too, it is super helpful. So one thing that kind of is going to come into play here is they're about to do a spin jump off of this roof here. And they did a spin jump there right after they rolled out onto the roof. Because when you roll out onto a slanted surface, you get increased speed. And so they use that to increase the speed of their spin jump. And spin jumps height is dependent on the speed. So it's basically just a really fast, really long spin jump.
Yeah, so it looks like they just instantly spin jumped.
Yeah, pretty much.
Landed. Is that pretty hard, technically? Like, do you have much of an opening to get the jump in? Or would you slide off the roof?
So the way, if you spin the control stick, there's a buffer of about a second before you can press A. So they basically spin the control stick right before they hit the roof. And then when they hit the roof, they press A once to roll out, turn to the right, and then press A again to get the spin jump. Okay. So, yeah, it is really difficult, though, especially for doing like the angled ones like that. If you're just doing it straight forward, that's not bad. But if you do it kind of angled like that, it's particularly difficult.
So here you were saying there's some RNG, am I right?
Yes. So here we're gonna. So PD has, I think there's like 8 spots he can stop at, and it's random which ones he stops at and what the route he takes between them is. So it'll take 3 hits to kill him. The fastest route is if he just goes immediately straight. The longest route he like goes way to the other side near the river and then comes back, goes over the wall, and it's really bad. But hopefully they should be okay here. Yeah, it looks like.
Faster and worse. The difference is 1 minute.
Yeah, Chakra actually, he's an SMS runner. He did an analysis video where he like did this whole. It was really cool. He did this whole like graph theory thing where he wrote a computer program to solve out what all the combinations were, and he found out that the best is about a minute better than the worst.
Wow.
And it looks like JJ is he got the best first spot, but then PD went over the wall. It can still be an okay pattern though. Yeah, Weegee also went over the wall, but he came back in a pretty okay place. Yeah, they actually kind of got reversed patterns. Their first spots were the other person's second spots.
So can you have 3 where he just goes, you can immediately shoot him down 3 times?
Yeah. So the spot where JJ got him first, that's the best first spot. The spot where Weegee got him second, that's the second spot, where if he just takes a route immediately from that first spot to the second spot without going over the wall.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's a third spot almost immediately after that that's pretty fast. And I think Weegee got the better pattern here.
That's what it's right?
Yeah. JJ's not terrible either, though. You aim to have a sub 17 Bianco here, so they should both easily have that. Actually, Weegee having like a 1623 here, that's really good.
Yeah, it seems like neither of them has made any mistakes. They've just been doing their thing.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, 1624, that's better than I've ever had. My best is like a 1635 or something.
Damn,
JJ also still with a really good time of probably like 1645 or so. And the Cheyenne spawn location is set for every level, so in levels like that where you have some time to wait before it spawns, you can just wait wherever it is.
Seems like the water has momentum of its own, too.
Oh, okay, someone says the timer.
Big bang for your buck.
Yeah. Also, someone says the timer was started late, so maybe the time wasn't quite as good as 1624, but
yeah,
still, it was probably still sub 17, so that's good.
Pretty good, pretty fast.
Yep.
Now just cleaning up duty. Wow, getting smacked in the face. Weegee getting hit by what do you even call those things?
Most people call them like goomies, but according to the Prima strategy guide, they are swoopin' stews.
Swoopin' stews.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are lots of stew enemies in this game. There's smoldering stews, swooping stews, stacking stews. There's 2 other ones. I don't remember what they're called.
You'll have to point those out to me when you see them.
All right.
That is that particular enemy. I can't even keep track of the enemies in Super Mario 64, but I'll try my best to wrap my head around it. Swooping stews, cooking up some stew for Weegee, to say the least.
Oh, it's 4 seconds off. Okay. Yeah, so they're going into gelato here. So there's a weird mechanic in this game. I guess it kind of makes sense, but if you beat a level that's past the current level you're on, like say they were to beat 8, which is what they're doing right now, it'll give them access to all the previous levels. And in order to beat the game, you only need to beat the 7th level of every world. So they're just going to grab the 8th shine here. Yeah, they're just going to grab the 8th shine here, and then that'll give them access to the 7th one. So they skip almost the entirety of gelato, which is nice, because gelato, it's kind of a slow world. It has some RNG in it. It's fun for 120, I think, but for any percent, it's not super great. So yeah, first try. Let's look. Oh, actually, I spoke too soon. Not first try for JJ, but
yeah, it looks like you just went a little bit too early there. I guess as soon as you get the clip, you want to start hovering. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, you want to start hovering, and depending on like what your speed is, you may want to tap back or a little bit forward, maybe on the control stick, just so you're not clipping out of the roof. But here's Shadow Mario. Again, the spam spray coming in handy there. Just spam spray him right behind him. You get him down almost immediately.
That looks like a new strat. I feel like I've always seen people just shoot, like have a light Like while they're running, they're shooting a stream, or has that been around for a while?
Yeah, that one's been around for a while. It's I guess like from least advanced to most advanced. The least advanced is you just shoot a stream.
Right.
The most advanced is you only do. It's possible to do it in only one spam spray for lag reduction purposes. But it's safe to do like 2 spam sprays or 3 like they did there. So
yeah, that's crazy. That they make it look so easy. Like I mean, I've gone back to the SMS and tried to play and try to take out Shadow Mario, and I pretty much chase him across the whole map twice, but they take him out in like 2 seconds. The spray is too strong.
yeah, if you know how to deal with him, he's not super terrible. And I actually didn't mention it when Weegee did it, but I'll mention it here for JJ. He's going to do a Y turn here, right there. So there's a really good mechanic in this game, actually. It makes for a lot of interesting movement, where if you press Y, you go into this kind of over-the-shoulder mode, and you can use that to turn, and that will actually turn your velocity. So they do a spin jump there, and then turn the camera so that they face towards the wall, and they can get a wall kick off the wall, and just reach up to the shine gate there. It is possible to do it without it, but it's it's a little faster to do it that way.
Rolling down these hot chain chomps right here, and I guess what happens there is you pause as soon as the star spawns, and you skip the animation of.
Yeah, so a flood text box pops up, and the flood text box ends if you pause, and the shine spawns as soon as the text box ends. So. One other version difference also is on the Japanese version, the hover nozzle is actually a little more powerful, so you can just use the ground pound hover to clean off the chomplets as opposed to a spam spray. All right, Piano 2, this is on Weegee's screen. It's a bit of an auto-scroller because Pianissimo, you have to race him, and unlike in SM64 with Cupid Quick, Pianissimo does not go any faster if you finish the race, so it's the same amount of time every time. The world
go faster?
No, it is not. You can get there in about 12 seconds, and it will take him like 27 or something every time. Weegee, looking like he's gonna get a good time here. Might get a 12. Ooh, 12, I've never seen a 12 in a run before, actually. Yeah,
even
most people.
In SMS, he's able to get a 12.9. God Gamer alert.
Yeah, most people get like a 13, 14 there, so. Oh, and we have JJ doing the imitation movement. I think it was popularized by Yamada, maybe, who's one of the Japanese runners to do this, where you just copy his movement. So.
He really is slow. God dang.
Yeah, he ledge grabs there. Like, he couldn't jump a little bit later. So.
JJ doing his best impression of that guy. What's his name again?
Who does what?
The racer.
Oh, Pianissimo. Pianissimo. Yes.
Showing Pianissimo the way, taking him out with a 23. Huge bob. You'd think they would do the thing where if you finish, they finish faster, but it's already fast enough of a race, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. So. And so this is Piano 3. It's the only non-secret level that you don't have flood for. And you're supposed to do this whole thing where you go under the village and go around to get flood back. But you can just damage boost through the lava, so pretty easy. If you know how to do it right, of course.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I tried learning this. Like, there was a phase where this was a pretty difficult part. At least at first.
Just getting the muscle memory down and like knowing where to stand and how to dive. Oh, okay, yeah, JJ hit a Gumi there, but that's probably happened to him 1,000 times before. So
falling on down. Probably did not mean to do that. JJ's slipping here a little bit. Trying his absolute best to get up there. Finally getting flood.
There we go. And then spam spray to clean off the Pianta there.
Cleaning it up real nice. Using the flash. What do you call that?
Spam spray.
Spam spray. Instant clean.
Yep.
OxyClean.
Who's the guy that did OxyClean? What was his name again? Billy Mays. That was his name.
That's right.
Billy Mays here with the spam spray.
That could be a good commercial. I'd buy it.
Yeah.
Weegee getting dragged by this cop.
It's actually faster to hold the chain and hold forward than it is to just wait for him, so that's why you hold the chain there.
Does he move faster when you're holding on to him?
If you're holding on to him and holding forward, he moves faster. I don't know why, but I mean, I kind of understand, because if you grab the chain and pull backwards, he goes slower. So they probably just like added your speed to the chomp speed regardless of what direction you move the control stick or something. So
yeah, maybe slight oversight.
Yeah, holding back slower, so holding forwards faster.
Does he always go the same direction, or is this RNG?
No, actually, it looks like they both got the same pattern, but there's 3 directions he can go, and the difference is about like 2 seconds between them, so
that's
not a huge deal. Yeah.
And again, using that spam spray, Billy Mays would be very proud.
So proud.
Cooling down these boys, only in it to get the shine. R.I.P. the Chomp. All right, chilling there.
Yeah, and now this is Pianta 5, which is, I actually forgot to mention it, but this is the bane of some runners' existence at the top level. There's an early cycle here you can get that saves about 20-25 seconds, and that can really help a run that's not doing well. So, or like if you get to a certain level, it's like almost necessary to PB.
Okay, getting a lot of ledge grabs from Weegee. This game is coded really well. You can just walk off and then clip into the tree and then float below and clip through the goop.
Yeah, that's a pretty weird like you don't even need any skill to clip through that tree. Just walk into that place and you clip through it. So
clipping through ever so nicely. And normally you need Yoshi to clear that. That's the whole thing, right?
Yes, you do need Yoshi normally, but obviously if you can just clip through everything, it doesn't matter.
Ooh, and JJ getting it first try. Definitely saving some time here on Weegee.
Yeah, Weegee almost got the early cycle. He was a little bit too late, though.
So now is he going to have to wait a while?
Yeah, he's going to have to wait till the guy gets to the top left corner there. If you, basically the guy can stop randomly at certain spots, and it's random how long he stops. And so you need him to stop at that line on the right side of Weegee's screen for at least like maybe 2 seconds. Oh, JJ got early cycle. Nice.
And JJ saving the time that he needed.
Yeah, and it looks like he got it, yeah.
That was scary. This level's so... Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, the angle there is pretty scary, actually. That was, me and Bouncy Boy both got that at the HDQ race, and we both died on it, just because, like, the angle is pretty hard, so... Pretty good that he got it.
So, the game helping out. JJ knew that Weegee had already gotten ahead because of RNG, so plopping him back. Giving some time back to the boy JJ. Honestly, both of these runs have seemed really clean so far. Maybe I've missed some things, but
yeah, they've been pretty darn good. Not much time lost other than RNG for both runners.
Now you gotta clean up everybody.
Oh, except for I guess the JJ had the gelato skip issue, but other than that, yeah. Yeah, so this is Piana 6. Gotta clean up all these guys with spam sprays.
So is he spraying, pressing A, and then immediately diving? Is that?
Yeah, so this is the backflip mechanic. If you do it on the ground, you get a backflip. But if you just press B as soon as the backflip happens, you get a higher dive and a bit of a longer dive. So, oh, it's like Weegee forgot to clean that guy off, or missed a little bit, I should say. Given a chance to catch up for JJ. The world record here is 2:19, but there's some aisle stretch for that. So in a run, the best you can really expect is like a 2:14 or 15 maybe. So 2:12, really good.
It looks so weird seeing them instantly cleaned up. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But...
yeah, it's kind of weird. But yeah, 2:10, still pretty good.
JJ once again saving some time here on Weegee. Not going to give up that easily.
He actually lost time there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Weegee got a 2:12. JJ got a 2:10.
Is it? Because you only have 3 minutes?
Oh, yes. It starts at 3 minutes, so a higher number is better.
Commentator not really sure what he's talking about. Trying his best to figure it out.
Don't worry about it. You're good.
Strongman Lynn putting him in his place like he should.
Yeah, can't have you thinking you know stuff about this game. Come on.
We're getting there. Scoodly Scroob. What's the stew? Scoodle Stew. Is that the name of the blob?
Stew?
One of the blob next to like the piranhas.
I don't think so. Not to my knowledge.
What was the name? What you told me the name of those?
Scoodle Scoo? I don't know.
Scoodle Stew. That sounds close, but anyway, commentator rambling on again. Absolute mind, looking like an absolute unit, and both of these players as well.
Yeah, low 29s for both of them is pretty good. I guess the time is about 4 seconds off, so it's about a 29 even for Weegee and a 29.06 or something for JJ, which is really good.
Wow. Heavy momentum from Weegee.
Yes. So they're going to clip in here, and they're going to die on the same frame that a cutscene starts here, and that'll just skip the cutscene. The way dying here works is if you're out of bounds for 30 consecutive frames, then you die. So, sorry, out of bounds touching the ground for 30 consecutive frames, then you die. So just hover there, ground pound, sidestep into the cutscene, and the setup is such that you just die as soon as you enter the cutscene.
That's interesting. That's some Ocarina of Time looking stuff. Right
I
there.
know, yeah. Pretty interesting.
Consistent though, 100%.
Super consistent, actually. That setup in particular is really consistent. So
Really consistent setup.
pretty much no one fails it anymore that is practiced it a fair amount.
So this is an interesting thing. If you slide, what exactly is the deal here? You save a pretty good deal of time here pausing, don't you?
Yes, so you pause and exit area there. So for most cutscenes in this game, if you exit area as you enter them, it resets the game. But for whatever reason, this cutscene and then the one after the Mech Bowser fight, it just skips the cutscene. So
nice.
That's what they did there. Yeah,
That's
it's like 5 minutes of cutscenes it skips,
Yeah.
so it's really good.
Saving some big time. Both riding on a roller coaster. Shit is going absolutely bonkers here in SMS World.
Yeah.
Robot Giga Bowser at an amusement park, and everybody's acting like it's fine. They're firing rockets off his nozzle.
Ooh, looks like Weegee messed up a little bit there, but he got the regrab. This is probably, in a lot of people's opinions, one of the hardest levels to be consistent at for the fastest strats.
Yeah, this aiming's no joke. Like when I've done this level, I've only been able to hit them when I'm close. Like those long range shots look impossible.
There's another cutscene from skip from Weegee. And JJ, I think he missed some shots, but this should be the last one here. Looks like they both got about the same Mecha Bowser.
Weegee's still pressing on, keeping the lead. Not really giving JJ much of an opening, getting those shines, making those plays.
Yep. Weegee and JJ also, I'm pretty sure they're pretty good friends also, so this is probably a pretty, fun competitive thing for them.
Yeah.
There's the Little Kids crew, which is, I think they're in it. Fetch, who's another guy, is in it. There's a couple other people. But
I didn't know Fetch was a little kid.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're not really anymore, but when they started, they were like 12 and 13 and stuff, so.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy nowadays. Like, I feel like people are getting into speedrunning even younger, or maybe people are getting better younger. Like, there's also a lot of top Japanese players that are pretty young.
Yeah.
For Mario 64, I don't know if that's the case for Sunshine.
I don't actually know the age of most of the Japanese runners, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, and Weegee splicing really quick, had to slide in some nice gameplay. Yeah,
just got to throw in the Manta manipulation there.
Perfectly understandable. That's fine. Yep. But, a little bit unethical. Splicing while you're in the lead just kind of seems like...
It really seems like disrespect. Yeah.
And these boys clearly know the timing well on when these blocks come back. Masters, to say the least.
Yeah, that's also pretty much an auto-scroller because it's so easy to make that early cycle.
Yeah, that's a pretty fun secret level.
Yeah. The reds is also pretty fun, but the reds is kind of difficult. You got to grab all the reds over the disappearing platforms, and it's easy to be like, oh, there's a red, let me go and jump and hover to it. And then as soon as your hover runs out, the platform disappears. So.
Yeah, the secret levels, while they are, in my opinion, the most fun, they definitely provide the most challenge as well. Those pits are too strong.
Ooh, we got a really fast strat looking like here from Weegee. Okay, yeah, he's doing the second fastest strat, it looks like here. There's an IL strat that he did the beginning of, but I guess he just did the beginning to make the ending part of this a little easier. Getting some momentum. Yeah. Both of them having a little trouble with that fourth coin, but not too bad.
Chopping right on through.
So I mentioned there are very few places that can really kill a run. You have to reset. This is actually one of them. If you get unlucky enough to grab one of those green crates as you get shocked by a Mecha Koopa on the same frame, it teleports you to the top of the map. And if you remember to exit area, then you can just re-enter the level. But if you forget and just press B to drop off the grate, then you start falling, and it takes about an hour and 20 minutes to fall.
Really?
So, yeah. It's a pretty weird glitch. I think it's similar to the SM64 upwarp glitch, where you get shocked and it thinks you're on a grate, but you're like above the grate you're supposed to be. So it's like, oh, we'll just put them at the next highest thing, and it puts you at like the top of the map. So.
Thank you, Aussie Adam, for the 100 bits, babe. Appreciate it. Pounding on these things. Do you happen to know the name of whatever these guys are?
I don't. I call them turtles, so
Yeah, they kind of
I would guess that's not what they're called. But trying to get a 1 cycle here. Looks like Weegee.
Looking eggshell looking ass.
Ah, that was unfortunate for JJ. One of them ground pounded on the grass, so it didn't go in. But yeah, Weegee got the 1 cycle there. JJ, unfortunately, getting a 2 cycle. Basically, the cycles here are broken up into every time you kill a turtle, you have to wait for its sunflowers to grow.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just kill all of them at once, then the sunflowers grow during the cutscenes. So you don't really have to wait for anything.
Pounding at the same, like pounding on top of them pounding? Is that what just?
Yeah, there's a thing you can do where if you ground pound, there's some weird timing thing. If you ground pound as they ground pound, then they don't hurt you, and you hit them as soon as they hit the ground. But if you miss it like you did, you can just get another ground pound immediately afterwards. So it's not super risky to go for.
Shadow Mario causing havoc in the world, but both players not too concerned with that. Just going to be plugging along, chugging on this train.
Going along to oh yeah, this is EYG. So this is the other place that you can soft lock and have to reset. So basically, with the same mechanic of if you beat a level, then you get access to the later levels. So they're going to be beating Pinna 6 here in Pinna 3, which you need Yoshi for, so you have to beat Pinna 4. But they're just going to be clipping past this gate so they don't enter the loading zone for Pinna 3. And then there's a weird void zone here that you can only pass if you are on top of a Yoshi platform. So they make a purple Yoshi so that the platform goes horizontally, and then spray that enemy, and the platform carries you over to the carousel here. And then they eat an orange fruit, because you need to be orange Yoshi to enter this loading zone here. And it takes you to the secret for Pinna 6.
That one took a while to find out. I mean, at this point, it's like common knowledge. Been doing it for a while. I remember when I found out. That was kind of a big deal.
It's like a 2016 thing, I think.
Yeah.
So, and also when it was first found out, it was another huge RNG element. Because you had to use these bullet bills, and you needed a purple bullet bill, which doesn't happen every cycle or whatever. But Zelpiku Kirby found a way to get it with these guys, or found a better way to clip past the gate with these guys. So we were able to do it in this level, which has no RNG and is actually a little bit faster.
So what happens if you fall off this purple thing?
So if you fall off that purple thing, you sometimes use it up to the bottom of the map and die, but sometimes you get stuck in midair. And if you're in the air in this game, you cannot exit area. I think that's the same in SM64. Yep. So you can't exit area. You also can't kill yourself because there's nothing there to kill you, so you just have to reset.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't seem too bad. You can just stick on and wait.
Yeah.
Works out nicely. You're able to get down into the carousel every time.
Pretty much, yeah. Actually, yeah. The purple platform has like pretty much just enough time on it to get to the carousel. It does run out of time eventually, but get to the carousel before that. And both of them finishing up Pinna a 38 from Weegee, which is pretty darn good. And then I would guess JJ is going to get a 39, low 30, or a high 39 probably. So he's about one death pretty much behind right now. So still could catch up here.
We still have some hard parts left.
Yeah, to be honest, the of the game is the hardest part. There's a bunch of really hard secrets and Eel.
Wait, how did Weegee just get in there? He was under
Yeah, so there's a weird hitbox thing where so you would think you need to stand in front of the M to get into Rico. If you're in like between the water and the dock, under the dock, then it also grabs you and brings you in there. So yeah, I don't know why, but I think it actually is a little faster even to do it like that, just because you can spin dive over to the water a little quicker than it is to get onto the dock.
Pulling on this octopus.
Yeah, this is Gooper Blooper.
Gooper Blooper.
So they used PD 2 times in this game. They decided to use Gooper Blooper 3 times in this game. So that's fun. You only fight him twice in any percent, or in any category actually, because you can skip the third one. But it's again pretty much just an auto-scroller fight where you just pull on his nose, wait for him to shoot Goop, and then pull on his nose again.
Yeah, definitely not a very complicated fight, but man, does it feel good to smack him back in his face. Very
Yes.
satisfying.
You're supposed to kill his, pull off his tentacles, but if you just time it right, you can just pull on his nose immediately. Skips pretty much the whole fight.
Weegee taking no time at all, not really caring about. What is it? The Gelato Kingdom? What is it? What is the name of this? World.
Rico.
Rico Harbor.
Yeah, Rico Harbor.
Rico Harbor.
Yes, yeah, Rico Harbor. I don't know if there's like a. I think they're called worlds, I guess. I don't even know if there's an actual because like in Odyssey, it's the kingdoms or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it's just Rico Harbor. And so this is 2. So they're going to use another Y turn, like momentum changing strat here, where they're just going to do a water slide over to the loading zone, and then they are going to use a Y turn to turn to the left in midair and go right in, just like that. Weegee.
Do you even have to get in there at this point?
Yeah. Actually, this is the level you're supposed to do that.
Okay, and just going over to the top. This makes a lot of sense. Don't need to get on, what are the things called?
Bloopers.
Don't need to ride a blooper. You can just acrobat your way through this level, I guess.
Yeah, it's a little faster to acrobat through it as opposed to... If you use the blooper, then you get about a 24 every time. And it takes a little longer to actually start the race if you're not on the blooper. But you can get about a 5-second better time without a blooper, so it makes up for the 2 seconds it takes to start the race. Pretty much if you get a 21 or a 22 on the in-game clock, that breaks even if you had done it with a blooper.
Nice little time save.
Yep. Also, both of them actually use a glitchy wall kick there to get up. If you press Y and then A when you're like in a wall kick, then it wall kicks towards the wall, so just get a little extra height there to get up.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Just like a glitchy wall kick whenever you want.
Pretty much, yeah. Is it whenever you want in 64, or is there like only certain places you can do it or something?
It's like on the right or leftmost edge of a wall.
Okay.
Wall kick like the last pixel or whatever. And then it will do a reverse wall kick.
Alright.
Pretty much the deal there.
What is... Oh yeah, so wait, I actually didn't see if JJ did Rico 3 yet. I think he's about to do it. But it is actually the fastest level in the game. It's faster than any Shadow Mario's. The world record split for it is 47 seconds, whereas I think Shadow Mario, the fastest one, is 48. So it is quite fast.
Yeah, I guess he's just right there, right in front, waiting to get smacked.
Yeah. The Shadow Marios are actually like